Black History Month drawing near, one can't help but be curious about what it means and where it comes from. Political science professor Sharon Vaughan will be hosting a brown bag to discuss some elements of Black history that are frequently overlooked in schools.
It's important to me because it's the one chance that we get to focus on some important individuals and talk about things that normally we wouldn't get to talk about. I think it's important for younger children especially to be cognizant of some of the battles and the struggles and things that have happened. I've always said people are not born bigots or racists. You have to be taught to be a racist or a bigot. It's a learned behavior, usually from your peers or your family or whatever. I am going to be talking about Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and Nelson Mandela. Gandhi was incredibly influential in Dr. King's life. In fact, Dr. King read everything Gandhi had written, and Gandhi, of course, led the liberation movement from British control of India, and he did it by peaceful means. And he stayed true to the peaceful means until he was assassinated. Dr. King studied Gandhi. In fact, he went with his wife, Coretta Scott King, on their honeymoon, and they traced the steps of Gandhi because he just found him so important to understand peace. And how do you get social change without violence, right? That's really the bottom line. And then I talk about Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is interesting because he was with the African National Congress in South Africa, leading the liberation from apartheid regime. Here in South Africa, Africans had no rights. It was horrible. And Nelson Mandela did not start out. He started out, he wanted to have a peaceful resistance movement. But then at one point, the African National Congress actually made the decision that peace wasn't working. And they kind of went to the more Frantz Fanon, Malcolm X model of any means necessary. And so the African National Congress used violence. Later in Mandela's life, of course, he went back to peaceful methods. And he becomes a great peacemaker. We see when he becomes the first president of South Africa after the end of apartheid, and how he reaches out to the white South Africans. So my talk's going to be about 3 really unique people that we need to study, and that would be Gandhi, King, and Mandela.
Sharon Vaughan's brown bag will be held on Wednesday, February 18th at 12:30 p.m. in the College Union. Visitors are encouraged to bring their lunch with them.